Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another broadcast of The Weekly with me, Neff. Please subscribe to the channel and share with a friend. We are trying to get to 100 subscribers, and we are very close. It'd be cool if you were the 100th subscriber. We appreciate it very much. Today, we're talking about Pixar. Cars 4 to be announced at D23 Brazil. In 2019, Pixar swore to us that Toy Story 4 would be their last sequel for a while as a slew of original projects were lined up for release. 5 years later, and that promise has clearly not been kept under new boss Pete Docter. With the success of Inside Out 2, Pixar seems to believe that the best solution is to go back to sequel making. Hey, maybe they have a point there, especially when it comes to commercially viable product. Toy Story 5 and Incredibles 3 are already expected to be released in the near future, although I'm hearing that Brad Bird will not be directing the former, just producing. Regardless, we can now add another sequel to the mix. D23 Brazil has accidentally let the cat out of the bag and revealed that Pixar will be announcing Cars 4 in the coming days. The Cars franchise has considerably diminished in quality over the years. Cars 2 might be the worst Pixar movie ever released, and Cars 3 isn't too far behind, but the franchise has made a ton of money at the box office. To be specific, $1.4 billion combined, not to mention the uber-popular toy brand. Gone are the Pixar days of releasing one animated classic after another, the likes of WALL-E, Ratatouille, The Incredibles, Finding Nemo, Up, Inside Out, and Toy Story 3. What's been the best Pixar release of the last decade? I guess 2020's Soul. And that one doesn't even come close to their golden age. Pixar's upcoming slate includes Cars 4, Incredibles 3, Toy Story 5, at least they have one original setup. That's next year's Ilio. If the success of this year's Inside Out 2 is an indication, the Toon Company has no reason to make original fare. Many of the old creatives are gone at the company, and the team currently residing over there clearly isn't as innovative or talented as the previous one. And that's the conclusion of that article from WOR, guys. So with that being said, I mean, it makes sense. They're doubling down. Kind of interesting that they're doing Cars 4 with that gap in between films. But as far as them doing Toy Story, that's interesting as well. I thought Toy Story 4 was pretty good. Once again, one of the animated films that was of my era, one of the best animated films ever, to be quite honest. And I thought Toy Story 4 was actually decent. But Cars, never really was into Cars. I think Cars kind of started up in the early 2000s. It was kind of out of my realm there. But I'm not surprised that they're doubling down. Obviously, Inside Out 2 made at least $1.6 billion at the box office, so these sequels make money, and that's what Hollywood is doing overall right now. If it makes money and it's a franchise, they're going to double down on it, because why? It's an easy risk to take, right? You're not too stressed. You're not trying to push a new idea. They're trying to build out new ideas, but they're also going to double down on the ones that have worked before. Now, quality might not be there, but with these animated films, these are not Oscar-worthy films. They're here to get the family in the theaters. They're trying to get butts and seats, and they're trying to make as much money as possible. And these films that cater to kids are the films that do that. So overall, there's 3 Cars films, and they've amassed over $1 billion. That tells you just how much they're bringing in. Now, how much they cost to make, I think it'd probably be $100 million, maybe even less than that. So they have a good ROI. So I'm not surprised by this news at all. Guys, let me know what you think down in the comments about this. Have you been paying attention to Cars since Cars 3? Were you a fan of Cars when you were younger? Were your kids fans of Cars? Let me know if you're going to actually be watching Cars 4. Obviously, we'll have to see what happens as far as the announcement and if they're going to release, but I do think it's something that is going to happen. So with that being said, guys, like this video, subscribe to the channel, as I've said, share with a friend, ring the bell for notifications, and as always, be safe. It's Neff signing off.